We chose to research La Noche de San Juan. It has a very long and storied history and is believed to have originally been celebrated as a pagan festival dating back thousands of years to the time before the Roman Empire even existed. It is celebrated on the night of the summer solstice, and in ancient Celtic times, the goal of the celebration was to ward off evil spirits and to worship the sun god. The pagans believed that evil spirits roamed free when the sun began its southward descent, and this being the reason why it is celebrated on the summer solstice. The pagans, more commonly referred to as Celts, weren't an actual empire, but rather many smaller individual Celtic tribes and kingdoms that shared a similar culture and a similar set of beliefs. At its height, this culture spread across much of what is today referred to as the Iberian Peninsula, Eastern Europe, Northern Europe, as well as the British Isles. This lack of unity made it difficult for the Celtic tribes to withstand the military might of a unified Rome, and this ultimately led to a majority of the ancient Celtic homeland falling to Rome and its ways of life. For a majority of Roman history, Christianity was either not around or was persecuted. It wasn't until the year 313 AD that Constantine the Great finally made Christianity legal for the very first time. In the year 380 AD, Emperor Theodosius I made Christianity the official religion of all lands subjugated to the Roman Empire, which undoubtedly would have been a huge shift in custom and would have been met with fierce resistance from certain parts of society. Once Christianity became the official religion, religious festivals and activities not pertaining to Christianity had to either be stopped entirely and forgotten about, or altered to Christian standards and beliefs. This was done to make the conversion process to the church a little bit easier. If there was no similarities left, it would have been much more difficult to quell the resistance to the new religion. Other holidays that have some pagan roots include Christmas, Easter, Halloween, and many, many others. Despite the new influence of Christianity on the Celtic festivals, they were still allowed to maintain some of their original traditions as long as it was celebrated in the name of God. You will soon see how La Noche de San Juan still portrays some of its Celtic roots even to this day. La Noche de San Juan today is celebrated to commemorate the birth of Saint John the Apostle and is celebrated roughly 6 months before Christmas. This is a rather unique holiday format because typically the celebration of a saint is on the day of their death rather than the day of their birth. It is mostly celebrated in Spanish-speaking countries around the world. However, the largest celebrations by far occur in the Catalonian and Valencian regions of Spain. The largest of these celebrations is in Alicante, although the city of Valencia still has a formidable event that attracts many local Valencians as well as tourists from around the world.
After Tyler has discussed with you some of the history behind the Noche de San Juan, I am now going to discuss some similarities that this festival has with Las Fallas, its common traditions, and some of the celebrations that occur. Some of these traditions celebrated on La Noche de San Juan in Alicante closely resemble the Las Fallas celebrations in Valencia. One of these similarities includes the massive monuments in the street, which are burned during the festival at midnight. In both places, this is called La Crema. Another similarity is the much loved mascotas at 2 p.m. and the lots of fireworks that fill the sky throughout the festival. Much like Fallas, during La Noche de San Juan, bullfights are more popular and are in high demand. One last similarity I'd like to discuss is like Las Fallas in the Falleras in Alicante, each community selects one woman to represent them, and during this festival the woman dresses very formal and delivers flowers to the Virgin. On the other hand, something that makes La Noche de San Juan different from Las Fallas is the parades that occur during the celebrations. The first parade is on June 21st and is called the Street Band Parade, where the streets of Alicante fill with many different types of music and bands. The second big parade is celebrated on June 23rd and is called the International Folklore Parade, which incorporates dance groups from all over the world to dance throughout the streets. The celebration of La Noche de San Juan particularly entails bonfires on the beach, rituals, eating, singing, dancing, and spending time with friends and family. There are many traditions that happen at midnight on La Noche de San Juan. One of these traditions includes jumping into 7 waves and then jumping over the bonfire at midnight to remove all evil spirits. In another tradition that happens at midnight, individuals choose to throw dolls into the bonfire. After burning their dolls, they journey to the water to wash their feet and faces 3 times, a tradition to grant 12 months of peace after the event. Another common and well-known tradition of the festival is to make wishes. In order to make a wish, you must put a branch under your pillow with a message and burn a white candle. Then burn the paper with the message the following night and your wish will come true. During the festival celebration, there is a traditional way that individuals dress. Higher class women and selected women from each community dress as the beauty or the queen of the festival, whereas common women dress as farmer and men wear costumes called zorgueyes. Along with the traditional dress, there's a traditional food eaten during this festival. It's called coca de San Juan. Coca de San Juan is a pastry, and although the most common shape is oval, it can come in many different shapes and sizes. Coca de San Juan is a sweet pastry that is covered in sugar and crystallized fruits. During the festival, the most popular crystallized fruit is cherries. A cool fact about La Noche de San Juan is the metros and buses are open all night and often run extra during this time in order to deal with the late nights and increased amount of people in the city of Alicante. After doing the research on La Noche de San Juan, Tyler and I suggest that if you are still in Spain during late June when this festival occurs, that you should journey to Alicante and attend, as it is very similar to the beloved Las Fallas. If you want to experience a fun and cultural night in Spain before leaving, we believe La Noche de San Juan is the perfect festival. Join the locals on the beach with the bonfires, rituals, and fun. Thank you for listening to our presentation. We hope you enjoyed.